Guys, it's your boy a.D back with another video. Now in today's video, we're gonna be doing if Naruto was in contact with the Otsutsuki part 6. So yeah. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this series so far, and let me know if you want me to continue or not, and all that stuff. Get this video 50 like for the next part, and yeah. The ship for this series is kind of obvious, but if you for some reason didn't notice, it's gonna be a harem with Hanabi, Suki, Rose, and Yaiko. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. Without further ado, let's just get the video started. Before we start this, I just want to apologize for the last part of this series. I wasn't using my regular mic. I was using my headphones, and somebody told me that the volume was kind of low. So yeah, I just want to apologize for that. But yeah. Anyways, without further ado, let's just get actually started. So we start this off with Naruto as he'll be smirking to himself as Naruto would go down to the fighting arena as he would basically get there and just basically stand there, as Luckily would give Guy a sensei a thumbs up, saying that he will basically use the power of youth to make this a very youthful match, as he would jump down, making a small dust of cloud as he would run up to Naruto, basically stepping away a couple of feet away from him, as then the proctor would basically say stop, as then Lee would say Naruto, let's make this a youthful battle of the ages, as you disappear and appear behind Naruto with a kick, as he basically was about to kick Naruto's head off, but it would be blocked by Naruto's simply raising his hand and putting it behind him, as he would push Lee back, sending him flying a little bit, but Lee wouldn't crash into anything. He would just land on the ground, as he would start to run around Naruto in a circle motion, that kind of they're basically around him, as he would keep running on him, as then he would vanish, appearing in front of Naruto, right in front of him, as he would start kicking him in the chest, sending him higher and higher with every hit, as they would almost hit the ceiling, they would almost reach the ceiling, as Lee would appear behind Naruto, undoing his bandages, as he would swing them around, making them wrap themselves around Naruto, basically, you know how Lee did the thing to Gaara, basically that. So yeah, basically wrapping around him, making it impossible for him to get free. Then Lee would grab onto Naruto as he would start to spin, heading straight down, as Mema and Mito would be saying, yes, kill the demon, kill him, as Minato and Kushina would look at them to see so much hatred in their eyes for Naruto, as they would be taken a little back by this, and they would be taken back by how much Mema and Mito hate Naruto a little bit, as they would start to feel a little bit ashamed, starting to realize that Naruto didn't really do anything to them. He just basically was just a normal child. He never did anything bad to them. He just basically was like any normal child. But Mema and Mito were done with the Nine Tails demon chakra, basically, in the soul, meaning it can take over them at any moment. But Naruto didn't have any of this stuff, so he was more normal than Mema and Mito, but they still neglected him for some reason, which is basically what they were thinking. Sorry about that. I had to go help something. But yeah, anyways, basically as as basically a look of pure horror would appear on Kushina's face, remembering how she basically broke Naruto's neck just because he was hungry and wanted to eat, as the same look would appear on Minato's face for him remembering how he slammed of a Sengun into his chest. As you look down to see Lee, not just Naruto and Lee, not even inches away from basically getting slammed to the ground. With the amount of speed and pressure that he would basically be going from, he would probably die from it. As then we hear a boom as a giant explosion would happen, making like a giant dust cloud, as Kushina would basically be frozen, staring at the dust, like the giant dust cloud. As unknown to her, as tears would basically start to be coming out of her eyes, streaming down her cheeks, as Minato would basically shed a single tear as well, but he couldn't really cry openly like that. So yeah, Hokage do the everything, but yeah. Anyways, a single tear would come out of his eyes, as well as you would take out a kunai, getting ready to go down as to get Naruto to the hospital. As then the dust would clear to reveal Lee on one knee, panting, as Naruto in a hole, upside down. His neck was bent to unnatural degrees. As then they would hear laughter as coming from the roof, as they would look up to see Naruto standing upside down with chakra in his feet, making him stick to the roof, as everyone would be shocked. As then the Naruto in the ground would basically become nothing but mud, as it would sink into the ground, as everyone would be so confused. As then the Naruto that they like since they were like all focused on Naruto, basically everyone was like looking at the Naruto on the roof. They wouldn't realize that there was another Naruto on the ground doing some hand signs, as that Naruto would say Earth Star, Earth Spikes, piercing both of Lee's legs, making him scream in pain, as Naruto from the roof would become mud as well, dropping on basically Lee's body, covering his whole body except for his head, as Naruto would start to squeeze his hand, crushing Lee's bones. But then Lee would scream as the coffin of Earth would get blown off. Lee would have lots of veins popping out of his head, red skin, and a massive aura, as a boom would happen, as he would basically dash at Naruto, sending his face, putting out all of the power of the four gates, I believe, something like that, four gates into the punch. But Naruto didn't move, as he would raise his hand, catching the attack, shocking everyone. As then he would start to release some chakra, putting it into Lee, making the chakra do some inner damage, making Lee get sent to the hospital. And when I say get sent to a hospital, I just mean like he gets knocked out and nurses or whatever comes in and pretty much picks him up and take him away. So yeah, as he would get sent to the hospital and they put him in surgery to get rid of the chakra that Naruto put in him, as Naruto would smirk as he would basically go up the stadium, as leaving everyone there shocked, as he would basically go back to his group, as they would just basically start to talk as if nothing had just happened. As Mema and Mito would be pissed seeing how Naruto didn't die, as Kushina and Minato and Jiraiya and even Jiraiya and Tsunade would basically start to realize what they have basically done and be deeply ashamed of basically what they've done, and started to get themselves ready emotionally to basically talk to them and ask for forgiveness. But deep down in their self-conscious, they knew they didn't deserve it, and they knew they probably won't get it, or so they thought, at least. Like, freaking hell, deep down they basically know they probably wouldn't get it anyways, like the forgiveness. But they would at least have to try at the very least, even if it took like years to basically take their forgiveness. They would do it, whatever, as they were ready to do anything pretty much. As Minato will go on to tell the rules about who be fighting who and all that stuff. Basically, who will be fighting who in the next part of the tuning exam, and that they have a month to train and all that. As they would all basically nod and get ready to leave, but before they could leave, Miyato said, Mema, Mito, Kushina, Tsunade, Jiraiya, Naoto, Suki, Rose, Hinata, and Hanabi to basically wait. Have something important to discuss with all of you, catching them kind of off guard, as Naruto and his group would basically be curious, wondering what they possibly could want, but they would decide to play along. Meanwhile, Yaiko had basically just returned on Earth, as she basically would be in a meeting with the whole Akatsuki, as basically she'll be holding the box that she got from Ishiki. Basically Ishiki got given to him, whatever, very closely, making the whole group wonder what was in it. As Pain would say, "So you're back, good." As she'll basically nod, as then he would say, "Mind telling us what's in that box?" As Yaiko would say, "A gift for someone." As they would nod, understanding that she wouldn't want to talk about it. Like, basically, she wouldn't tell them what's in it or whatever, and for who it is. As Pain will basically say, "Well, now let's go back to business. I would like to inform you that you are part of the plan, so get ready to basically get freaking go there or whatever." As she would basically nod, as she would say, "May I get assigned to somewhere near freaking hell. May I get assigned to somewhere located near him?" Referring to Naruto, as Pain will basically say, "Yes, as you wish, just don't be noticed before the plane starts." As she would basically say, I will make sure that does not happen." As then Pain would say, "Now, Deidara, Toby, I want you two to get the 3 tails, as in Hidan and Kakazu, get the 2 tails." As they would nod, disappearing in the, just freaking disappearing. As we skip over to Toby and Deidara, as they were walking, as it was night, as they would basically had to rent a hotel room to stay at. As Deidara would tell Toby to basically go get it, go thingy, freaking register them, whatever. As Toby would nod, saying, "My senpai gave me a mission, I should do it without fail." As he would basically go to a hotel, as then he'll get only one room instead of two. As 30 minutes later, Deidara would walk in, not knowing that he only bought one room, so he just had some basically not knowing that it was only one room. Since he just come from showering, he only had basically underwears, due to Toby sending all the stuff that he tried to dry himself off with like the camo dimension. Like, basically he tried to take a towel, he like send them away with the camo. He tried taking his clothes, send them away. As he would basically walk in, as Toby would be on the bed on his knees and basically on his hand, his knees. As he would basically say, "I'm really Deidara senpai." As Deidara would close the door, as you basically go to the room across, killing the person that was staying in there, and basically staying there for the night, leaving Toby waiting all night. As we skip back to Naruto and Hanabi, as they were basically standing freaking hell. We skip back to basically the Leaf Village where like Naruto and his group was. They're basically standing basically Hanabi was standing to the right of Naruto, looking at Hinata, as basically that was staying across from her. As basically, long story short, the whole Naruto team was like looking at the freaking Minato, not Minato, just like the Hokage family, whatever. So yeah, Anyways, as Naruto would basically say, so what do you need, Hokage-sama? In a cold tone, as Minato would basically flinch, and the others would flinch as well. At the first, since it was basically the first time they ever heard him talk like that, as even when they were beating him or whatever, he always just like put a fake smile, but they didn't know it was fake. So yeah, as Minato would take a deep breath and say, Naruto, I know we haven't treated you and your friends well. We are very, very sorry. We basically were too focused on your siblings and got carried away. And now we have realized our mistakes. I would like to apologize for that, for what we have, for what we have done in the past. And I would like it if you could be like funny, like part of the family once again. I promise to do my best not to do the same mistakes as I did in the past. Please forgive us. Basically, we will do anything. We basically do anything to get your forgiveness, and that goes for all of you guys as well. Referring to the Naruto team, basically. As Jiraiya and Tsunade would say something pretty similar, as they would basically all take a deep bow, except for Mema and Mito and Hinata, as were all expecting now for Naruto and the others to say no and ignore them, but Naruto put his hand or like his arm around Minato's neck and say, "Come on, Dad. There's no need to worry. We're a family after all." With a happy smile on his face, but in his mind, Naruto was laughing of how pathetic they look, and he basically decided to be a part of the quote-unquote family, as shocking all of them except for Naruto's team, who figured out what Naruto was doing, as they were basically smirking internally, as they would basically all say, "Yeah, don't worry about it. We're glad to be a big happy family once again." As Naruto would basically say, "Speaking of which, I was wondering if we could get some training in the warm-up training trip thingy, whatever." As Naruto and the others would nod and saying, "Yes, we can train you guys." As we skip the next day, Naruto and his team moved to the Uzumaki Senju Namikaze family compound thingy, as and Hanabi as well. She also moved in, even though she's not really part of it, but yeah. She was basically doing something, and Hanabi was actually doing something that no one except for Naruto and her teammates knew about. Basically, Hanabi would basically go to a safe or the compound and take a lot of money and gold, sending them like jewelry and everything send them to basically sitting them away in the schools and everything, and giving them to Black Zetsu, who would basically put them somewhere safe and give some to the Akatsuki, seeing that they needed to basically get on with the plans to get the Telbis, as Naruto and his group would act as if they were just basically getting along with their family, and that they were warming up to them, in quotation mark, with Mito getting especially close to the point that she's developed a crush on Naruto. This is not going to be I will not be adding Mito to this harem. No, that's not gonna happen. So yeah, don't even ask. It's just gonna be to basically crush the Uzumaki family even more, to make them feel even worse when Naruto does this thing. But yeah, there'll be no weird shit in this thing, alright? Anyways, basically Mito developed a little crush on him, seeing as she never really thought of him as a brother in the first place. So it was like meeting a complete stranger to her, as she was basically thinking about asking if she can basically date him too after the tuning exams, figuring out basically she wanted to ask him out after the tuning exams final part, as a way to quote unquote celebrate becoming a tuning, or basically take his mind off of not becoming one, basically. As she would eventually take a picture of him, like she would even take pictures of him coming from training, drenched in sweat sometimes, with no shirts and all that, and she'll basically be doing appropriate things with them at night. Let's just say that. And again, I will not be doing no Mito ship in this one. All right. Sorry for you guys who wanted it. I don't know if you do, but yeah, I'm not doing it. All right. Anyways, again, this is just to make Mito feel even worse when it happens. So yeah. Anyways, as we see Naruto basically leaning with learning the Rasengan from Jiraiya, as he will basically show it to Naruto and say how to make it. There's 3 steps. One being basically step 1 is shit. This video is gonna be long. But anyways, basically step 1 being bursting a water bottle with your chakra only, not using your other hand to crush or anything. As then you have to do the same for rubber ball, whatever. And basically you guys know what it is. I'm not gonna explain it because it's just wasting time. Anyways, basically Naruto would not getting the water balloon and start to practice with it. As we skip to the end of the month, as the whole Chronicle family were going to the stadium, and they basically would be getting weird looks from the people, being shocked to see Naruto and his friends with the Hokage family and his family, basically. Freaking hell. As they were really curious as to why they were with them, as Kushina and Mito was basically smiling the whole way there. As we go back in the flashback, as Mito was sitting at night on her bed staring at one of Naruto's pictures, as then she started basically kissing it. As then the door would open, revealing Kushina, as she was basically asked what is she doing, as she would be kind of mad at her for like the first few minutes. As then she would basically start to she would ask her how much she loves him or whatever, as Mito would explain how much she loves him, as Kushina would end up saying okay, seeing as the Uzumaki kind of only got with Uzumaki's when they were like alive, to be honest, cause like they were just stuck in the island and they weren't really like all the clans there. So yeah, she's kind of used to at this point, to be honest with you. And seeing that the only Uzumakis that really didn't do that stuff was like Mito from the canon, Hashirama's wife Mito, and freaking herself. So yeah, being the only 2 exceptions as far as she knows, and I know as well, as she will basically end up explaining how she basically planned to confess to Naruto, as Kushina would agree and say I'll be waiting for you. As this in the flashback, as they will basically enter the stadium with Mema, Mito, Jiraiya, Kushina, and all them basically going to the end wars as well, and like Naruto and his team. Basically, all of them will go to the Kage box. As Naruto will basically look at the crowd to see that a girl with long blue hair and a very, very beautiful face and pretty smooth looking skin and different, simple, like a simple attractive body, as she'll basically start to blush, seeing Naruto looking at her with this weird look, saying basically, just you wait, I'm coming for you, basically. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. But yeah, as we basically go on a flashback, as Naruto and the girls would basically go in the forest at night to see Yaiko and Black Zetsu, as Yaiko would basically jump on Naruto, hugging and kissing him, as Hanabi and the other girls who basically get her off of Naruto, being kind of jealous, I guess you can say, as they would basically pull her off of him, as they would basically start glaring at each other and doing a little cat fight. As then Naruto would say, do you have the everything? As kind of blushing a little bit, as she would basically say, yeah, I have it all. As she would take out the black box with golden symbols on it, as Naruto would say, so we're really doing this while blushing even more, as the girls would basically not blushing as well, just as Naruto would basically start to change the appearance, taking off his genjutsu basically. All the girls would basically get a little nosebleed, as Naruto's cloak was a little bit open, so like basically this thing was like a little bit open, so yeah, they would get a little nosebleed, but not too big, as Naruto's cloak was a little bit open, like I said, as he wasn't wearing any shirt under it, showing his muscular body, as they would basically quickly wipe the blood from the nose, as they would basically go outside of the village. The next, I'll just skip a little bit later, whatever. Anyways, basically they would go outside the village to a place that had a beautiful site made out of mostly rock, and like little areas of grass and land and whatever, and like a little waterfall and some streams of water. Basically, think of a really good looking open area, as in the middle of it all there was a fountain, a stone fountain, as they would basically go close to it, and then they would do a marriage ceremony actually and whatnot, as then they would open. The priest is Hidan, because Hidan is cool like that, and he has a blessing of Jashin. But yeah, actually I'm thinking about doing what if Naruto was like a Jashiness or something like that. I don't know what his version is called. I'll probably have to look it up to see what it's called, but like basically he's gonna be playing Jashin. But yeah, let me know if you guys would be interested in that actually. So yeah, anyways, yeah, like basically they would do the ceremony and all that stuff, case and everything like that, as they would open the box to reveal a big chakra fruit with 3 animals, and each of the 3 animals had 10 tails. They were each jubies, but those were made of otsutsukis who died a long time ago, as they don't really have a host right now at this time, as they were basically wild jubies, I guess, but you can basically tame them by like putting it in you, whatever. It's kind of weird to say it like that, but yeah, you understand what I'm trying to say. As they would basically take the fruit, as they would each take a big bite, eating the whole fruit, as Naruto and Yaiko would awaken their 10 tails, because in this one I'm gonna say you have to eat a chakra fruit. When you have to eat a chakra fruit and now Otsutsuki to unlock the 10 tails. So yeah, because I'm pretty sure each Otsutsukis have a 10 tail of their own, and basically it not only give them the 10 tails, it made them have a connection and unlock the third eyes, the third basically the forehead when they Sharingan, and the palm when they gun. Basically, for Suki, she would awaken her EMS and then the Rinnegan, and for Rose, she would awaken the Wood Star, otherwise known as Mokitan. For Hanabi, she would awaken the Tensegan and Yin Yang release, and also for Rose as well, she would also awaken Yin Yang release, because Wood Star you kind of somewhat awaken it as well. I'm not sure, but yeah, I feel you close to it anyways. Whatever, doesn't really matter. I'm giving it to her, right? Making the 2 of them be able to create things like and have perfect balance over their chakra and mind and all that stuff. As actually all of them basically have yin and yang release, when you think, yeah, basically all of them have it. But yeah, anyways, as then Yaiko would basically take the two of the small jubies, two of the three small jubies, and Naruto would basically take one, the last one, as Naruto would walk up to Hanabi with a grin on his face, as she would basically say, what are you doing? As the grin on Naruto's face would only get bigger and bigger, as he would basically open sorry about that. As he would suddenly thrust his hand forward, opening her shirt and basically making her blush, thinking that he was about to do something inappropriate, but he would simply slam his hand into her chest, making the beast go into Hanabi, basically with Yako doing the same to Suki and Rose, as they will basically all gasp, as they will basically feel very, 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 and I mean very powerful, as Hanabi and Suki and Rose eyes will basically go wide, as they would basically look to see how. Oh yeah, my bad. This is when they unlock the yeah, whatever. Freaking hell. Sorry. Anyways, basically they would go the eyes would go wide as they would look to see how their hair became white, their horns they would basically go to horns, and the skin became really pale white like Naruto and Yaku's, and they basically had a split open in their foreheads, revealing the third eyes, which was extremely red and had 9 tomoes, being a windy Sharingan if you somehow didn't know. And basically they would all suddenly basically pass out as they would wake up in a grassy field where they would basically be surrounded by 5 giant hunters Jubi, as then they would all basically explain how they all the Jubis and all that, and they will show them in any way they can and all that stuff, as they will basically get summoned. Not freaking hell. They will eventually get a summoning contract from them, as basically they would all awaken back in the real world. And let me know what you guys want the summoning contract to be. If you guys don't pick up, I'll sure just give him the Jubi to summon. So yeah, their Jubi, not just a special Jubi or anything like that, just their Jubi. But yeah, anyways, they will basically get the summoning contract as they will all go back up into the real world, as Yaiko would basically show them what she basically looked like. Not Yaiko. Yeah, like basically she would show them what she's going to look like in the exam, being the girl of blue hair that I explained earlier, as they would basically all, except for Yaiko, put on a genjutsu, as they would basically Hanabi, Suki, and Rose and Naruto would make it so they look like they were before, but in truth they all became otsutsukis now. So yeah, making them look like normal again, as they would basically have a long night in a flashback. You can think whatever you want by by long night, but I don't really mean it that way. But if you want to think about it that way, go ahead. I'm not stopping you. But yeah, anyways, as go back to the present, the proctor will basically say first match of the day is Sasuke Uchi. No, it's not Sasuke Uchiha. No more Sasuke, the ex Uchiha, versus Suki Uchiha, as they will basically go down the stage with the female members of the crowd gasping to see Sasuke's burned face and skin in general, as the males will be feeling a little bit pity for him. My gosh, it's gonna be so long. As as they'll basically get down to the stages, they will basically, the porter will say start, and Sasuke will basically say, this time I'll beat you, Suki. I won't let you off that as easy as last time. I'll make you suffer. As Suki will basically say in a sarcastic voice, I'm so scared. As freaking hell, that's so cringy. But yeah, anyways, I regret doing this already, bro. Shit. As then she'll basically smirk inwardly, as then she basically use her say do you basically she would like smirk and say do you want me to use my eyes or not? As Sasuke would basically grit his teeth, as you basically take a okunai and throw it at Suki, only for Suki to simply swipe it away, as she would rush at Sasuke, as Sasuke started to use taijutsu battle with Suki, as Sasuke being on the defensive and Suki pushing him back, as Sasuke would activate his one Tomoe Sharingan, as he would basically start to catch up, making the crowd cheer, as Sasuke would punch Suki right in the face, sending her flying away, as she would basically get back up and smirk and say, well, it looks like little Sasuke has gotten stronger. As Sasuke would say, you have no idea, as he would basically make some hand signs in say Shidori, as his hand would get enveloped in lightning, as he make a Chidori. Anyway, as you start to run towards Suki and basically throw his hand forward, aiming at her chest to kill her in one shot, as he would basically connect and his hand would go right to her, bursting to her chest open, basically like bursting her chest open, as she would basically cough up blood, as she would say, big brother, I'm so sorry. I was so rude to you, but I freaking hell. But I had to protect you from the council. Itachi, and he like basically fuck shit. Basically, she would say, "Big brother, I'm so sorry. I was so rude to you. I had to protect you from the council." And Itachi, please forgive me, and how I will basically always love you. As she would drop on the ground dead. As Sasuke would hear this word and start to realize that he basically had basically like, killed the only person that quote unquote cared about him. As he would start to cry, as he would basically get the Tutomo Sharingan, but Suki's dead body would suddenly like start to laugh with an insane laughter, shocking Sasuke, as she would grab onto Sasuke's head, as the blood would basically be coming off her wound and start to basically come all over him, not basically stopping, as it would like start to cover Sasuke's whole body with blood, as terrifying Sasuke. As then Suki would say, did you really think that I cared about you, disgrace of Uchiha? You disgraced of well, not really Uchiha anymore. Yeah, you're basically a failure. You failed to see such a weak genjutsu with your Sharingan activated. As in the real world, Suki would be just basically standing, looking at Sasuke, while the Shidori activated in his hand, not moving though, not even one bit. As he started to basically suddenly fall unconscious, as the Shidori would disappear. As Suki was announced to be the winner, as the next match would be Hanabi Hyuga versus Hinata Hyuga, the prince of the Hyuga clan and future wife of the Hokage's son, as in the child of quote unquote prophecy. As they would both go down, as Hanabi would smirk and say, well, if it isn't my weakling of a sister, as Hinata would scoff and say, if it isn't the demon lover, with a smirk on her face, faking that she would get under her skin, as Hanabi would smirk and say, well, at least I didn't spread my leg for a fox container, but hey, it's your choice who you basically do it with. There's nothing I can do to help you. As Hinata would basically say, at least it isn't with a disgusting demon. As Hanabi would basically say, well, don't come asking me for help when you can't push out his baby foxes. As Hinata would basically get annoyed and basically rush at Hanabi, saying, I'll put you in a place, you demon lover. As she would basically go to hit her tracker point, only for Hanabi to activate her tensei gun and hit her in the chest so hard that her hand basically went to her chest, freaking hell. Like basically hit her so hard in the chest that her hand burst to it, basically. So yeah, making Hinata go wide eyes, as then her eyes would become doll-like once again, as her wounds would start to heal, but it wouldn't heal completely. It would only heal to the point it isn't fatal anymore, and she can stay alive if she gets medical attention. As then she would go unconscious, as a medic would come and take her away, as we see Hanabi have the same grin in her face once again, as if she would know that would happen again, as she would start to laugh, saying how she is the heir of the Hyuga clan, if she's the head of the Hyuga clan, then the Hyuga clan are just really weak and are all in fools. As she would walk away, as Yashi in the stands would be so pissed that he would almost basically look red or feel anger. Not even that. As yeah, next match, Rose Senju versus Gawa of the Sand. As they would go down to the stadium, as Gawa would basically say, "Mother wants your blood. Mother wants your blood." In a psychotic look on his face, as the sand would erupt around her, as she would basically do some hand sign and say water star or water vortex jutsu, making Gawa's sand extremely hard to control. As we skip 5 minutes later, Gawa would receive a kick to the face, making him bleed, as he would say, "Mother, what is this? Is this my blood? It's my blood." As he would let out a scream, scaring the villagers, the civilians, whatever, as sand would erupt from everywhere, making a giant one-tailed Shikaku raccoon, as Rose would basically laugh, say, "Well, looks like I have no choice but to use it," as she would clap her hands together in a praying motion and say, "Seijo would release, choose several thousand hands," as giant vines would come out of the ground, creating a giant Buddha statue with thousands of hands behind it, as the hands would start to shoot forward, hitting the Shikaku to the ground, dismantling it, basically, like destroying his whole body. I don't know how to say that word. I freaking wrote this shit. I don't know how to say it. Freaking hell. Anyways, making the whole arena basically crack, as then she would basically say wood star, wood dragon jutsu, making the wood statue, like wood golem statue thingy, the thing that she was summoned, basically become a giant wooden dragon, as it would shoot forward, wrapping around Gawa, making it so like Gawa goes unconscious. But since the wood dragon is suppressing Shikaku's chakra from basically releasing him, whatever, as she would actually keep him in the dragon to make him not be able to go free and attack people and that shit. So yeah, oh sorry about that. Anyways, the next match will be called basically Rose favor, as she will basically go back up. Next match, Naruto versus Mema and Mito. Meanwhile, Tsunade and Jiraiya, Tsunade, Jiraiya, Kushina, and Minato would be looking at Rose Hanabi, as they would basically ask them how do they have those Genkai and those jutsus. But guys, it was from me. I hope you guys liked and enjoyed this part. If you're the next part, you guys got this video 45 likes. Was it? Let me check. No, never mind. It was 50 likes. But yeah, 50 or 45. I don't really mind. Anyways, basically, just get this video to about 45 likes for the next one. And yeah, let me watch you guys start off this part. And I mean, somebody asked me for a long part anyway, so I guess there's your long part. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, that's probably the longest video I've done with script. But yeah, anyways, yeah, let me just hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'm out.